Hello, dear students. You are welcome back to Edubbey Dynamic Solution. What I will be teaching you today is paper 31, May-June 2023. So this year there is a little bit change in the syllabus. So the question is a bit different from all the previous past year question. The source file for this question I've already put it in the description of this video, so check it out. Now let's get started. If this video is not too long, then I can do the spreadsheet and web authoring in one video, but if it is too long, then I have to separate them into two different videos. Now let's see how it goes. So the question says you have been supplied with the following source file. So j31weather.csv. Okay, so the file is in the evidence file, in the source file. Then task 1 is evidence document. Create a new word processor. So let's open a new Microsoft Word. Okay, this is a new Microsoft Word. Then the question says make sure your name, center number, and candidate number will appear on every page of this document. So just double click and you write Edubbey, then XXX, then 1 2 3 4, then close this one. Then save this document in your work area as J2331 evidence underscore, then followed by your center number, then followed by your candidate's number. Then let's save it. Save as, browse, and give it a name, followed by your center number underscore, followed by your candidate's number. Just save it in your work area. Now the next question then says you will use this as your evidence document during the examination. Now task 2, spreadsheet. You are going to create a spreadsheet to calculate and display weather data about 3 towns called Amata, Binchen, and Chesme. Open and examine the file, this one, in your spreadsheet software. So the file is here. Let's open it. So this is how the file looks like. Well, the first thing I will advise you to do here is to click here to select everything, and you double click on this line so that everything will be fully visible and you can see what is inside. Now the next question then says save this as a spreadsheet with the file name weather underscore, followed by your center number and followed by your candidate's number. So the first task is to save. So this followed by your center number underscore candidate's number. So I'm going to save it under download, and of course in the format of the software you are using, that's Excel workbook. Alright, then you click on save. Place in the footer, left align the automated file name with no file path in the footer. So click on insert, then header and footer, then you come to the footer here, just click, come to the footer, left align automated file name. You see the file name is here, just click on file name, no file path, so do not put any file path. Then right align your name, center number, and candidate's number in the footer as well. Right align, so your name Edubbey, center number, then candidate's number. Then after you finish, you can click on view. Okay, just click anywhere, click on view, and you click on number, or you can just click here. Okay, then the next question now says format row 1 to 17 of the spreadsheet to look like this. This one will take a little bit of time, but let's carefully do it. Okay, row 1 to 17 only. So what I'm going to do is, let me try to minimize these two files and put them beside each other so that we can have the idea of what we are doing. So now I put them beside each other. The question answer format. So let's look at row 1. What happened to row 1? Okay, let's read this one first. Apply the formatting in row 1 to 17 down to row 73. Okay, we are going to do this afterwards. Then cells in row 1 and 13 must be matched. Cells in row 1 and 13 must be matched and center aligned with a 16-point font as shown. So where is row 1? This one is row 1. You will see that A, B, C, and D is actually matched. A, B, C, and D. So home. Then we see match. Then cell 13 as well. If you look at 13, okay, this one is actually in the center. It's already matched, but this 3 is matched. Where's it? Then this one also is also matched and center, and this 2 is also matched and center. That's the first thing. Then the second thing we need to do, let's start. Look at row 1 until 4. 1 until 4. So we put a line, all border. 5 has nothing. Look at 6 until 11. 6 until 11. So we put a line as well. We put a border, I mean. Then 12 has nothing, but 13 until 17. 13 until 17 until here. So we put a border as well. Alright, this one is done. Then number 2, look at this row 1. You will see that it is bold. Then it is italic. Then at the same time the size is also reduced. Alright, look at this A. It's not that wide. So reduce A to some extent. Okay. Then after that, B, we need to reduce it as well. Then C, then D. Alright, so for now let's leave it like this. We are still going to do some other formatting there. Then the next thing is the background. We use the gray color. It doesn't matter which one we use here. The question didn't specify. Now look at row 2. This one, these 3, highlight them. They are bold and they are center aligned. Bold and center aligned. Okay, look at this January and February. So they are right aligned. Of course, you need to reduce this more so that it's not that big. Alright, then they are center aligned. Then row 5, we don't need to do anything there for now. Then look at this row 6. Row 6, 7 until 11. 7 until 11. All of them, they are okay, they are matched. You see row 6 until C, it is matched. 7 also matched. 8 matched. 9 until C is also matched. Then 10 to 10, and finally row 11 until C only is also matched. Now then after match, they are actually right aligned. They are right aligned. Now if you look at 6, it's okay. 7 is okay. 8, 9, 10. Then but this 11, we have number of days with a wind speed of less than 5. This one actually stop at less than 5. So what you need to do here is to use the wrap text so that it can go to next line. Wrap text. In that case, you need to expound this one a little bit. Okay, you see, of less than 5, it looks better now, just like what we have now. Row 12, nothing there. Then 13, or everything in 13 is actually bold, then it's also center aligned, then it's also then it is italic as well. Then the background is gray color, and perhaps maybe they increase the font size a little bit, even though the first one as well, it looks like the font size is also a little big. Then is there anything we need to change here? Let's continue first. Then for 14, we have dates is center aligned. Then everything in 14 is actually center aligned. Okay, everything in 14 is center aligned. That's one. Then look at this sunshine. So we try to reduce the size. Then we use the wrap text. Wrap text. So sunshine, hours. Then they are also bold. They are bold, and yeah, you put the center middle align. Okay. Dates, sunshine hours, rainfall is okay, wind speed is also okay. Sunshine, we need to reduce the size of this one, so you go to next line. Sunshine hours, rainfall, we need to reduce the size of this also. Then wind speed, reduce the size of this too. Then sunshine hour, reduce the size. Then Chesme rainfall. Then wind speed, not okay. Then look at 13, 15, 16, 17. So everything we have there is right aligned. If you look at it very well, it's right aligned. 15, 17 is right aligned. Now the question then say that what we do in this 15, 16, 17, we need to do the same thing until row 73. So just highlight everything until row 73. What do we do in 15, 16, 17? Number one is that the border. Number two is they are right aligned. Those are the only things we do in these 3 rows. So we do the same thing for the rest of the. Now let's check it. Is everything looks okay? Does it look like what we have in the question? Town, amateur, Bing chain, then Chesming is there, and all this one they are center aligned. Now what about our row 1? Row 1, it looks like it's a bit bigger, like this. Then row 2, we don't have anything here. Amateur, Bing chain, Chesme. It looks like everything is okay, but for whatever reason, if you think that you are missing anything, you can always come back to this and try to edit it again, because it is 10 marks, so don't lose your 10 marks. By the way, the question here says cells in row 1 and 13 must be matched and center aligned with 16 points font as shown. So it's 16 points. This one should be 16, and row 13 as well. All these ones should be 16 according to the question. They are 16. So then cells in the range A6 to A11, A6 to A11 are matched. Yeah, we match them. We match from A, B, and C. All right. Now you can claim your 10 marks easily. Now the question then says, print your spreadsheet showing the value. So make sure the page orientation is landscape. So just press Control P here. Then you choose landscape. Then the question says the content of all the cells are fully visible and can be easily read. Then the row and column headings are displayed. So from here you see everything is fully visible, by the way. Then you can print, but this one is 6 pages. Oh, no. So in that case, the best thing is you can choose fit all the columns on one page. Okay, then it's going to be 3 pages in that regard, or just only 2 pages. All right, so all the columns are fit in one page. Then after that, you can print this. Now, after you finish doing this, the next question says, place in cell B3 to D3 formula to calculate each town the average hour of sunshine for January rounded to 1 decimal place. Okay, so for this one, what you need to do is B3. This is B3. We need to calculate the average hour. So the formula we use for average is equal average. All right. Let me make it bigger so that you can see it clearly. Okay, from here, so we say equal average of what? So we look at this one, the average hour of sunshine for January. So rounded to 1 decimal place, you look at amateur. Where is amateur? Sunshine under amateur is this for January. So we just have to highlight. Okay, we highlight for everything for January. I think it's until this place. The remaining one are February. Yeah, until this place, January. Then you close it. All right, you close it. So you get 2.5, but the question says round up. If you want to round up something, this is what you do. You say round, then you open the bracket. Then you want to round what? You want to round this formula. So you put a comma here. Then you round to 1 decimal place according to the question. So you put 1 here. So just as simple as this. Press enter. Then you get 2.5. Then you need to do the same thing for amateur. Yeah, you can write the formula again, but if you know what you are doing, by the way, you can just copy the formula for February as well. But the only thing you need to change here is, so for this one, you need to look at B40 what? From, let's look at February. The February actually starts from B47. Oh, sorry. Yeah, B46. The February starts from B46 until B73. Okay, you see, this 73, this is B. So in that case, this one is going to be B46 until B73. That's the only thing that we change there, and you can get this value. So this one is B1 until B45. That's for January. Then for February, B46 until B73. Just as simple as this. Now the next question answers, you need to do the same thing. This one is for B4, right? But you need to do the same thing for C4, C3, C4, D3, D4. So you need to do the same thing for that. So what I can do is, perhaps you can just copy this formula. All right. Then the only thing we need to change is the cell for bin chain. So this one is E. You see, this column is E, which means from E15. You get it? From E15. So this one, let's change it. E16, E15 until E45. Then this one as well is going to be E46 until E73. So what about the last one for chess.me? For chess.me, so it's going to be, the sun sign is here, H is H this time. So in that regard, what we do is you change this one to H15. If you know what you are doing, you can do like this. but if this one looks confusing to you, then the best thing is to write the formula again. So don't copy. Yeah, these are the value and this is what you get. So we've done that. Now place in cell B4 to D4, B4 to D4, formula to calculate each town the average hour of sunshine for February. Oh, okay, we've done these two at the same time, by the way. This one is done, January and February. Now the next question says place in cells D6 to D8. Where's D6? Okay, D6, this one, until D8. What do we need to put there? To calculate the total number of days that it rained in each of the 3 towns. Total number of days that it rained. Now, if we want to check this, we need to count how many times it rained. How many times it rained. But you say count. If I count, I want to show you something. In each of the, let me start with Amata, rainfall. We want to count what? We want to count the number of the time that it rained. This is the rainfall. So highlight everything. Then you press, you close it. It happens to be, but this one is not correct because it's not every time it rains. When it is 0, 0 means it doesn't rain, right? But 6.86, it means it rains. It means we need to look for a value which is actually greater than 0. In that regard, if we want to do that, so what we need to do is to use COUNTIF. I've done one video about this. You can try to check my previous video on spreadsheet on all these formulas. You need to use COUNTIF. This is the range, but what is the criteria? Criteria is any value that is greater than 0. Okay, then you press enter. You will see, you see this one, value that is greater than 0. It will count only the value that is greater than 0 for you. All right, then you can do the same thing for this. But what you need to do here, as I told you earlier, you need to change for the rainfall. So it's F. This one is column F, right? So here we need to change it to F, F15, F15 until F73, F73. Then for the last one, for chess.me, this one is that 15, right? That's I15 until I73. So you come here, I15, I15 until I73. I15 until I73. Only this. Then we have 35, 23, 35. Now this question is done. Next question. Place in cell D9 a formula to calculate the number of days with more than 7.5 of rain in Amata. D9. Number of rains greater than 7.5. The same idea. You say count if. So how many times it rained in Amata? Highlight everything just like we did earlier, comma, then greater than 7.5. How many times it rained, which are actually greater than 7.5 in Amata? Then you see just only 10 times. Now, this one says, place in cell D10 a formula to calculate the average wind speed in Amata in January. Average wind speed in Amata in January, which means equal average. Okay, what is the wind speed in Amata? This is the wind speed, but only in January, so don't do February, okay? I think January until where? Until 45. Yeah, January is until 45, until here only, okay? Then average. But the question says we need to round up. If you do like this, of course, it will lose 1 mark. So if you don't want to lose any mark here, the question clearly say rounded up to the nearest knot. So which means you need to say round up, then comma, then 0. Then you press enter. This one is 15. You see this? I explained this one earlier, by the way. Round up. What do you want to round up? You want to round up this formula, average. To what? How many decimal place? If you put 3 decimal place here, it's going to round it up to 3 decimal place. But today, 0 decimal place. That's why we have 15. Then the next question answers, place in cell D11 a formula to calculate the number of days with a wind speed of less than 5 knots in Amata in January, less than 5. So calculate a number of days with a wind speed of less than 5 wind speed. So again, equal calculate the number of days with a wind speed of less than 5. So we count again, count if, but this time we are using wind speed. Where is wind for Amata? Also only for January, okay? Don't forget, also only for January. This one until 45 only. 45. Okay. Okay, which actually less than 5. Less than 5. Then you close it. Which are less than 5? Can I press OK? You see, just only 5. Now, the question says save your spreadsheet. Yeah, save it. Then after that, print your spreadsheet showing the formula. If you want to show the formula here, you just have to click on formula, then you show formula. Show formula. Alright. But when you show formula, okay, let's look at the next question. So make sure the row and column headings are displayed. So the page orientation is landscape. The content of all cells are fully visible. You will see that some of the formulas are not fully visible here. All what you need to do is just select everything, press Ctrl A, that everything will be fully visible. Don't lose marks because of this. Press this place. That's everything will be fully visible. Ctrl P. Then you are using landscape, okay? Then from here, fit all column on one page. Yes. So you are going to have 2 pages. But according to the question, you click on page setup, then you click on sheets, and you need to show the row and column headings. Press OK, so that this is column heading, this is the row. So you need to show this. Then after that, you can print. That's the first task the question wants you to do. Now, the second task is print your spreadsheet showing the value. So if you want to show the value, then you need to click back on don't show the formula. Well, if you look at this, it looks like you mess up already with your file. You see, things are not really fully visible like the way it was. So what I will suggest here is you can just click on undo. Just click on undo so that it looks like the way it was initially. Where was it? Okay, this one. Press OK. Everything is okay like this. This is the way it was initially. So before you start printing the formula, all right, just click on undo. Now you need to print this again to show the value this time. Then when you want to show the value, what do you need to do? Only cell A1 until D11 are displayed. A1 until D11 are displayed. Okay, don't show everything. The question only say A1 until D11, only this is what you print. Then the row and column headings are not displayed this time, which means press Ctrl P, but you need to choose this option, print selection. You see, print selection, only this is what the question wants to see. Now the second one says no row and headings are displayed. In that regard, you click on page setup, then sheet, and you have to uncheck this one. Press OK, so it doesn't show any row or heading. Then number 3 is the page orientation is portrait, not landscape. It's portrait. Okay, you choose portrait, and it fits on a single page. Yeah, this is just only one page. It fits on a single page. And finally, the content of the cell are fully visible. Yeah, everything is fully visible, and you can now, so you can print. Okay, now before, I remember something before we move to the last part of the question. So you see that I didn't remove the grid line, so you can click here, remove the grid line. Because if you look at the sample you are given, you will see that grid line is not there. Alright, so you can remove the grid line. Now let's go to the last part of the question. It says in cell E3, calculate the total rainfall for Chesme for January. E3. So this is E3. So total rainfall, maybe we can give it a title. Total rainfall. So in January for Chesme, we say equal sum. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me make it bigger so that you can see the formula clearly. Okay. Equal. Then sum. Where's Chesme? For January. Total rainfall. So we highlight all this until 45 as usual. Don't forget, until 45, that should be here. Then we can close it. Oh, is it 45? By the way, we can change it. Just write 45 to make it faster. We have this. Then the second question says, in cell E4, calculate the total rainfall for Chesme for February. So we need to do the same thing for February. Equal sum I46, right, until I73. All right, so then I46 until I73. This is the total rainfall. Now create an appropriate chart to compare the average hours of sunshine. Average hours of sunshine. Where is it? This is the average hour of sunshine for Chesme, with the total amount of the rainfall, the one we just calculated now, for the month of January and February in Chesme. So what I will suggest is, let us separate this, because we are going to create a chart so that we don't play around. Let me call this one month. Okay, then we say January, then February. Now then, what is the total rainfall or average hours of sunshine? So the average hour of sunshine here is 3.4 for January, then for February is 2.6 from here. All right, Then the total rainfall, the one we just created now, so that's 79.46. Then for February is what? 94.14. So we have a new table now. Okay. Or let me just return this grid line so that it doesn't look confusing. So now we have another new table now, which we are going to use to create our chart. But the question you might ask is why the table is actually in horizontal. We know we have two type of table. This one is a vertical table. You see, this is a vertical table, but this one is horizontal. The reason is the value you are given is not that much. All right. So, and whenever we are comparing, so we normally use horizontal. We normally use horizontal table. So that's why we put it in horizontal like this. Now, highlight everything. So let us compare. We click on insert. So we can use any of these charts, maybe bar chart, or it's up to you. But line graph is always good for comparison. So I click on line charts. So it's like this. Now let's look at the question clearly. The question says set the month as a category axis. Now you see January, February, they are in category axis. It's already there. Then set the average hours of sunshine as the primary value axis and rainfall as the secondary value axis. So to do this, what you need to do is you click on chart, change chart type, then you click on combo. Now let's look at it. This average hour of sunshine, this one is the primary, this is the primary axis. This place we call it primary axis. All right. Now for second one, which is the total rainfall. All right, the total rainfall, we call it secondary axis. That's what I'm going to use. But since we are using line, so let's use line bulb for both of them. This one is a line. If we are using bar chart, we can use bar chart for both of them. But I'm using line graph for both of them. So the first one is always be the primary axis, while the second one is the secondary axis. In that case, let me choose the secondary axis. So be the second one. So I need to check on this box. So to tell me that this is the secondary axis. All right. Now I press OK. Then my chart looks like this. Yeah, this one is also done. Now the question answer says set the rainfall axis to have a maximum of 100 mm. Maximum of 100 mm. The rainfall axis. It has a maximum of 100 mm already. And the question never says where it's going to start. But usually what we do is right click. You click on format axis. All right. So you say the minimum, maximum, and the major, which is the differences between them. All right. But it's already 100, so we don't need to change anything here. And for this one, the question never say anything about this as well. Then fully label the chart. Fully label the chart. Okay. Maybe this chart we can say create an appropriate chart to compare the average hour, comparison of average hour, hours of sunshine with total amount of rainfall. Maybe we can copy this. Let's use this one as the title. So yeah, comparison between the average hours of sunshine and the total amount of rainfall. All right. Then for this one, you can click, when you click on charts, this one, click on this plus, you see the axis title, give it axis title. So this one you call it month, and this one you call it average hours of sunshine. Oh, okay. I think everything is fully labeled. Now Actually, this one's supposed to be total rainfall, by the way, not just ordinary total. This total rainfall. Okay, so everything is fully visible like this. Okay, for this one we call it total rainfall as well. Total rainfall, which is the secondary axis. Now, very nice. Then, does the question ask you to do anything? Fully label, save your chart, place a copy of your chart in your evidence document. So just save it and copy and come to your evidence document. Oh, do we still have it, or I deleted it already? I think I deleted it already. So just copy it in your evidence document. And I think that's the end of the question. So the next one is going to be web page. Then I will make another video for you now. So on web page as well. Oh, this is a new curriculum, by the way. So you cannot find this one in any of the previous past year question. I'm going to teach you about the meta tag. What's that mean? Then how do you get yourself familiar with this? All right. So see you in next video. Bye.